everybody. Thank you for attending our webinar this evening. We're going to get started here in just a minute. This is Lisa Hagler with LA South Rehab. We are very pleased and happy to have Benson Juarez here with us from Privy. He's going to be giving a fantastic educational talk tonight about how to find some of the most competitive or hottest rehab projects in the LA area. I told many of you that I believe that Privy's got one of the best pieces of software out there, both to do your research, you do your due diligence, and to identify some hot properties that are available for you to flip, available for you to buy and tear down, etc. So the data is coming straight from the MLS, and all of it is integrated in a beautifully simple to use platform that I use for my business every single day. So I absolutely love this piece of software, and he's going to demonstrate how it works for you tonight and how you could use it in your own business, regardless of what you're doing, why this is going to be such a fantastic resource for you. So without further ado, let me hand it on over to Benson, and I'll let you take it away.
Great. Thank you so much for having me, Lisa. I really appreciate it. I know we've been working together now for close to a year. And we've done several different promotions, and we've got several different members of the LA South RIA using the software, and members and guests. And we've been in your market now for a little over a year. We basically connected right when we were launching out there, and I appreciate the support. And that as awesome as our software is, it's only getting better. We're constantly taking feedback from our users. And we incorporate all these different tools and I guess methods, and what we call those are our REI hacks. So when people hear hack, they get kind of some different messages in their minds about what that means. And an REI hack is a method of doing real estate investing that's more efficient than what you used to do in the past. And more importantly, it means that you're leveraging data, technology, software, automation to do a lot of the tedious tasks that you got to do every single day to find and analyze properties. And so what we did is, we built the system around kind of just making an efficient system that is really doing the heavy lifting for you. And a lot of us aren't, this isn't our main thing. We're doing this is our side hustle. Some of us are doing this as our full-time job. And so we really just kind of put our heads together with our users over the 6 years we've been doing this, and came up with what you see today. And by the way, we've got a new version coming out in May that we're really excited about. It's going to have a lot more features and functionality. So if you like what you see tonight, you're going to be even more impressed back out in May. Now, I would encourage you, we do have part of what's cool about this is we've got a really cool community where people are collaborating, doing deals together. They're, excuse me, asking questions and giving support. And that's the REI Hacker Group on Facebook. If you're interested, you can go ahead and check that out. And so what I want to do for you tonight is show you how you can really step your game up and become that incredible investor. And a couple promises to you: if you stay till the end, you're going to leave here with some things that I think you're really going to like. And the first thing is you're going to have market knowledge about the LA, South Los Angeles market that you couldn't get any other way. And I'll show you how that's going to happen. You're going to leave here with some actual tools that you can use and incorporate into your business right out of the gates. So, there's a lot of the problems that investors are facing every single day are common, but some of them are very unique. But I'm going to show you some ways that you can overcome that and use the REI hacking tools. And I want to show you how and why a lot of the younger generation, and I'm in my 40s now, I'm getting up there, and you see like these millennials, the people that have grown up where they got the iPads in their hands and they have a smartphone, and they just really take up the technology approach just really easily, and it's second nature for them. And so I want to show you why the millennial crowd and why savvy investors are really starting to excel, where maybe some of us are slowing down or slipping behind. And then lastly, I want to show you how you're going to get a bunch of big bonuses and some free training and some actual really cool tools that you can use to help take your business to the next level. And so just a little bit about me. I really started out in the mortgage business. I had a mortgage company for a long time and started working with investors. I actually lent hard money as part of our conventional loan suite. And investors were just making a killing, and I wanted to be part of that. So I started doing some real estate investing, doing fix and flips, buy and holds. Didn't really get into wholesaling too much, although I did wholesale a couple of deals just out of kind of necessity, or finding that was the best approach for that particular property. And then I got into being a real estate agent. Right? I really wanted to kind of take in some more of that revenue and keep it in house, and not have to pay it when I was selling a property. And then I started working with investors. And so that's where the idea of Privy was born out of, which was my business partner, Scott Fall, and I were in the same real estate office, and we were spending all day, every day looking for deals for our own clients. And it was just taking way too much time. Spending your time behind a computer, clicking around Zillow or random websites or the MLS, or waiting for an agent to send you deals is just not an efficient way to run your business. So there's a better way to do it. So we got involved, and now I'm a partner in this technology company, and I want to be your partner. I want to be your partner as you grow your business. I want to help you with our technology tools and our REI hacks and our education and support, so that you have everything you need to be able to move forward, find deals, make more money, and actually accomplish what it was in the first place that made you decide to start the real estate investing career. And so that was just a little bit about me, why you should even give a crap about what I say. And I've been around for a long time. It's like 15 plus years now. And so I've done a lot in the real estate and tech fields. And so I want you to just take a moment and think about what it would be like. What would it be like if you knew the best places to invest in your market? What if you could actually find highly profitable deals on demand, where these things were being sent to you automatically? And what if you could ensure that you're making better decisions, more educated, confident decisions based off of what other investors are actually doing and the data that's available to you? So I'm talking about things like, what to buy properties for, what to sell them for, what level of construction to do, what kind of profit can you make? If you could do all that, how would it change things for you? Would it make things more fun? Would it be easier? Would you enjoy it more? Would you get more done? Right? So there's a lot of things that could come out of that perspective. Now, just a general kind of coverall is, results aren't typical, right? This is a very difficult business. And if you think that you can just get in and get rich quickly, then, somebody's been selling you a bag of goods. And we're not gurus. We're tech guys. We're not, gurus. We're real estate guys. And so what we've built here is a tool that you can implement and use every single day. We're not going to try to sell you a 3-ring binder and some, complex coaching program and for tens of thousands of dollars. That's not what we're here for. So if you think that's what you're here for, you can just remove that out of your mind and just open yourself up to what's actually possible with REI hacking. All right, so there's 3 main pillars in the way we view REI hacking. And it comes down to having a foundational understanding of real estate investing and how that applies to your local market. I believe there's a gap between the level of education that you can get from books and podcasts and real estate coaches and the gurus and all the other stuff that's out there. And all that is well and good. You should definitely take part in some of that. Just be very careful in how you spend your money. But that education is, in my mind, a lot of it is theory, right? So it's like, buy a property that's distressed, fix it up, sell it, wholesale it, go out and find an off-market deal. And it's a lot of it sounds good. And, they always show you those, the big guy who's cheesing with a big check in his hand. And it seems like it's attainable. And a lot of it is, but we need practical tools that you can actually use. And the level of education that we can give you based off of the data that we have access to directly from the MLS, and how we curate it in a way that can give you the nuts and bolts of how to get a deal done in your market. It closes that gap so that you're no longer sitting on the sidelines looking for all the different ways to do deals. And so that we're going to be able to get you off the couch and get rid of that analysis paralysis and actually allow you to see what other investors are doing to have success and build that roadmap for you so you can have the same level of success. The next thing is systems, right? Building an automated system or using a systematic approach to real estate is going to be a key for you to be able to take your business to the next level. There's only so many hours in the day. And like I mentioned earlier, a lot of us, this is a side hustle. And if you don't have the time or the experience or the know-how to implement systems that can do that work for you, then you end up just always keeping this as a hobby. And nobody's going to become rich, or no one's going to take their family's finances to the next level by doing this as a hobby. You need to take it seriously. And that's done by using processes and systems. The next thing is action. So after you've built your foundational knowledge, you understand your local market, you implement your systems, how do you take all that stuff and take action? Well, we've got a bunch of really cool REI tools and collaboration tools built into the system to help you get your entire team on the same level, as well as allowing you to collaborate and really get to the understanding of a property is a deal or not, right? And this is all done with real-time MLS data, which that in itself is a huge obstacle for a lot of us, and where we're just trying to piece together what a property's worth now, what it's worth after it's been fixed up. And I'm going to show you guys how you can get that. So once you get this knowledge, what are we really talking about here? What is it that you need, and how do you get it? So I have a firm belief that if you just emulate the success of other investors, and I'm not talking about the theory again that the gurus talk about, I'm talking about actual fix and flips that other investors are doing, that you can really start to advance things, right? And this is things like seeing what other investors are doing, buying properties for, what kind of construction are they doing in their homes, how long does the process take, what's the different timelines for construction and days on market, and how does that affect your carrying costs? So it's things like that is missing from your knowledge base that I think will help you kind of get off the couch and start doing some things like writing offers, right? Setting up showings. I'm going to show you where the hot areas are at, right? We can use the algorithms to go in and analyze this MLS housing data to figure out where the hot areas are at, right? I'm going to show you how that is super simple and how we can set the systems up and the automation to keep you up to date, so you're never left behind and you're always up to date on what's going on in your market. The next thing is construction. What level of construction is the best for that particular area? Can you do a rental grade rehab? Do you have to go in and put in Viking appliances and custom cabinets and granite and a waterfall? I mean, who knows, right? Well, unless you've got that kind of data, then you're just guessing. And then lastly, it's the comps, right? We're going to talk about comps a lot here because that is really the key to everything we do. If we can't determine what the after repair value is of a property, then nothing else can be figured out. You're just shooting in the dark. So you need to get access to the real-time MLS data and not have to rely on getting that from other people like agents who we all love. We want them on our team, but we don't want to have to rely on them to get that data to us. So knowledge is king, right? How do you become the expert? It's by having all this at your fingertips and really shortcutting your learning curve. So no matter if you're a brand new investor and you're just getting started, or you're an experienced investor and you've got your niche down, you know exactly what a house is worth in this certain zip code or this neighborhood, and you feel like you got it all figured out. Well, I'm going to show you that you can actually become an expert in a lot of different things that you didn't consider before. So let's take a look at what this looks like. All right, so we're going to exit out of this. And we're going to jump into Privy here. And I want to go back to the Explore tab here. And this is the system, right? So it's MLS powered data that we bring into the system where you constantly using algorithms to go out and find deals that match your exact deal criteria to allow you to track your market so you know where the hot areas are and what other investors are doing. And it's all controlled right here. We really boiled it down to the most simple things, and behind the scenes, everything is super complicated, right? There's all kinds of moving parts and algorithms and analytics going on. But in the front, it's simple, right? So let's look at a quick analyzation of the market. Let's figure out where some of the hottest areas are at in the greater Los Angeles area. All right, so I'm going to do a sold search in the last 12 months, and I want to see every property that was purchased at a maximum of 75% and was fix and flipped and sold for a profit. So this is going to show us in your market where investors are actually doing deals, right? And what's important about this is that you are able to really determine where and why you should spend your money and your resources in a particular area. So I'm zooming in here, and we've got data that goes, we've got updated data that's all the way north to about Malibu, Ventura, just south of that, and then all the way down south to San Diego, just north of San Diego, and all the way east through the Inland Empire through Palm Springs. So it's an enormous area, and it's actually the largest MLS coverage area in the entire United States. And so what we're seeing here is all these little collections of transactions, all these little collections of icons are actual transactions. I'm looking at 150 right here of 1,277 deals that have been done in the last 12 months where they were able to buy and sell a property at a maximum of 75% of the after repair value. And you can get the details on these transactions, right? So the first thing is, well, where are these concentrations at, right? Well, right here, well, why is this area more interesting than another? Well, when we zoom in and we look at this area, we start to get a little bit more clarity about where this is. And this is over there, right in Inglewood by where the new stadium is being built, right? Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Well, let's focus in now more on Los Angeles and not just the greater Los Angeles area. And we're going to get more data points on the map, and we're going to get even more clarity. Oh, I forgot the E. Spell correctly. And then we can kind of focus in and say, okay, well, we know that area is hot. How hot is it? Right? So let's zoom in even further. And now you see a lot more data points. And that's because they were all spread out before over a larger area. Now we're able to put more in a concentrated area. And look at all of this right here. So here's that area in Inglewood again, right? The area over here by Santa Monica Airport is pretty hot. Over here, kind of in Mid-City, what is this? This is Venice, Mid-City, you know, kind of just south of Miracle Mile. That also is a hot area. So why is this important? And it's important because anybody can go out and try to find a deal, and they can find a house that needs obvious work, right? You can find those out there. The big question is if you fix that property up, can you sell it at a much higher price after it's been fixed up? And the only way you can do that is by looking at what other investors are doing, right? So there needs to be investor activity in your area so that you have the actual comps necessary to prove the value of that, right? That's going to be important when you're trying to get your hard money, right? If the hard money lender's not going to use the high end of the value spectrum for you, if you can only find one fix and flip in the area and the rest of them are regular, you know, family sold homes where there's only been updates maybe through the last 20 years and the last update was in the 90s, right? That's not a good representation of what the value is. You need to operate in these areas. So when you start to focus in on those, then you get a much better idea of what they're doing and also how you should put a strategy around targeting those areas. So let's take a look at a couple of these. So this property was fix and flipped, all right? They bought it for $550,000. They sold it for $830,000, and they had a $280,000 gross profit, right? This is gross. Anything in red would be a change. So if they added bedrooms, bathrooms, or square footage, we would see that here in red. And over here is the timelines. Now, for some reason, the timelines on this property are ridiculously long. This is just way, way too long. It could be a situation where they lived in it and did the construction while they were just, you know, kind of moving along, and it wasn't a professional fix and flip or a job, right? But this thing just sold. Oh, wow. Yesterday. This thing just finished the process yesterday. It was the sold date. And then you can look at the before and after pictures, right? So if you're going to do business 90008, I might have put too many zeros in there. This is what you're up against, right? So here's the property before the fix and flip, right? So it's an older home, but it looks like it's got great architectural elements. It's got, the wood, and it's got that cool fireplace. Those hardwoods are just beat up. But I mean, I would walk in here and think like, this is a great opportunity. And somebody saw that, right? So they bought it, and this is what they did with it, right? So how cool is it that you can actually come in and see what other investors are doing, right? So if you have any questions about what is possible in this neighborhood, or what you need to do if you're doing a fix and flip in this neighborhood, here's where the bar has been set, right? You're not going to come in here and skip. You're going to have to put in high-end appliances. You're going to have to spend time and have a professional cabinet installer come in and do custom cabinets. They went in, and it looks like they refinished those floors. But again, this lays out all of what you need to do in here. It takes a lot of the guesswork out, what you need to do for your own fix and flips, right? And what that does is it helps to lift that analysis paralysis. When you have less things you have to decide on or think about, you can move closer to a situation where you are writing offers and getting things under contract, right? If you are sitting around wondering all day, trying to put numbers together on what your fix and flip should look like, well, the deal's just going to be gone, right? So the other thing that's important about this is, now what level of construction you need to be at, right? That's another thing that's taken out of the equation. So you've got an example of, what kind of materials you should be using. You've got an understanding of what the other investors are doing to have success. And it just makes it so much easier. Now, I actually like looking at these pictures because it's fun. It's almost like a real life HGTV flip this house. But these are actual deals, right? These aren't deals that people are just making up and they're throwing up fake numbers. This is all data that's been curated from the MLS in a side-by-side format. And this has been sold. They bought this for $335,000. They sold it for $649,000, $314,000 gross profit. They added a bathroom. Timelines are much more respectable on this. 272 days under construction, 68 days on market. Overpriced it slightly. They started at $675 and ended up at $649. But again, really valuable information, right? For a total hold time of 340. So think about these timelines, you guys, and how important it is that you get those right? So when you're calculating your maximum allowable offer, you got to put some numbers in there for your holding costs. And unless you're really experienced and you've done several transactions like this and you can nail what this is, how else would you get the information to be able to estimate this timeline, right? Would you just guess? Is this really a business where you want to make guesses? It's not. This is not a business where you want to guess. You want to make decisions based off the data. So obviously that last one we did is not going to be a good indication of what that timeline should be like. But when you review these and you study these, each one of these transactions is a white paper. Each one is another lesson in your education as you grow as an investor. And as these come through, and I'm going to show you how you can get these updates as they come through, then you're constantly up to date on what's going on in the market. And you don't have to guess anymore, right? You're making decisions based off of the data that's available. So we could spend a lot of time looking at these, and you should, right? It's fun to look at. It is valuable information. It's going to take your level of education to the next level very, very quickly, right? You don't have to go out and learn by doing anymore. You learn by watching what other investors are doing. And that will really get you that's going to fill that gap that I was talking about earlier between the theory and actually getting out and writing an offer and closing a deal. This researching all of these as they come through is going to close that gap for you. So that takes us to the next portion of this, which is systems, right? So how do we keep ourselves up to date with what's going on in our market? Well, we can teach data, algorithms, technology to deliver you those results in a systematic way so that you're constantly up to date and it doesn't require any effort from you. So if you can put in and build and maintain a systematic approach to real estate investing, you're just going to be saving a ton of time. You're going to be able to not have to rely on anybody else anymore. You can do this on your own when you want to, right? As I mentioned before, if you've got a full-time job and a family and you're taking kids to soccer practice and you've got, your other kid is playing the cello. Like, do you really even have time for this? And if you don't figure out a way to make this, to get this kind of systemized, it's just always going to be kind of that thing that you do like on the side, like, oh yeah, an aspiring real estate investor, and you got your cards printed and it looks official, but are you really going to make it into a business? Do you have time to make it into a business? And you know that you're not doing the things that you need to do manually to get that done. This is one of the ways you can do that. So once you have this in place, you'll be able to find deals automatically. You'll be able to analyze properties using algorithms. You'll be able to research markets and have the system deliver you updates on what's going on in your market at all times. You can run comps using the algorithms and not have to do it manually. We've got real estate agents that use our system every single day because our comping tools are way better than they have in the MLS, right? And these are people that have the MLS and they still use our system. So we're not relying on others. Now, what does this look like? So the benefits of having the systematic approach are, well, you minimize risk, right? You're making decisions based off of data instead of guesses, right? Free education, right? Filling that gap between all the theory that's out there in which actually the actual nuts and bolts of getting the deal done based off of other investors and what they're doing, right? You're not just guessing anymore, and it's not any more theory. Like, think about the people who come out of college and they've been studying for 4 years, and now they have to go get a job, and they spend months and months training on the job because they didn't learn anything in school they could actually apply, right? This is on the job training, and it's a really fast way to shorten your learning curve. All right, so the systematic approach, how is it actually done? So I'm going to show you now exactly how we can set a system up to deliver your results automatically. So in this search here, if this is an area I want to track, where Los Angeles is an area that I want to see all of the new fix and flips that pop up. And by the way, when you look at the map and you see where these transactions are happening, well, you also see some gaps in where they're not happening, right? Well, Koreatown, why aren't you seeing a lot of deals in Koreatown? Is it because it's already been picked over? Is it because maybe the area just isn't ripe for new investors yet, so it's kind of going to be the next future hot market? Well, what if you see a deal pop up in Koreatown, right? And you look at it and you get an alert, and it says, hey, Mrs. Investor, here's a deal that just happened in Koreatown. And you're like, okay, that's interesting. One deal, you take a look at it, but it isn't anything to get, react on. And then you see another one, and then a third one, and you're like, okay, there is something going on here. What is it? Well, that's when you can modify and actually pivot and start to track areas that are up and coming. And if you get on the front edge of one of those next hot areas, that could make you a boatload of cash. So how do you do that? Well, you give it a name. So let's call this LA, and we're going to call this sold flips 75 ARV maximum. Click save. And now our system is going to constantly monitor the area for you and only send you updates when these fix and flips get done. You saw that one that was closed yesterday, right? Like this, up to what we have in the system now, is up to the last half hour. Now that we've looked at Los Angeles and we've got an idea of where the hot areas are, well, let's flip the switch. Let's go ahead and click active, uncheck sold, and let's look in the let's look at all. And I'm going to look in Los Angeles using the same exact algorithm, right? Look how easy that was. I checked one box, I changed one drop down, and now I'm going to be able to look at deals that we can go out and write offers on right now. Okay, so look at this stuff. This is all the most up-to-date data. 1 day on market. Let's go ahead and we can interact with these right off the map. You can click these, you can get the details. You can also, and this is the more efficient way, is you click this browse all button, and now we're going to look at this property and all these properties, and take a look at what kinds of deals were delivered to us today. Now, the algorithm is going in and it's pulling comps for us automatically. So we're looking at properties that are just similar to the subject, right? Comps meaning comparable, meaning they're similar, right? The main property characteristics are the same. Again, that's another one of the systems that's built in. You don't have to do that manually. Well, this property is listed for $1 million, $1,099,000. just came on the market, and we've got comps in the area. Our algorithm has already eliminated all the properties that aren't similar to this. And now we've got comps that range from 1.5 million to 1.9 million, right? We're looking at this gray area. And let's take a look at some of these things. So this one that's right on the same street, basically, it's on Ashby, sold for 1.5 million. We know this property is similar. It's slightly smaller than the subject property. Sold for 1.5 million. We can look at the details. Right, this house is in nice shape. It hasn't been completely remodeled, but you can tell it's been updated. Right, the one that's down the way here. Let's look at this one. Sold for 1.7 million. Right, here's this property. This property has, definitely been remodeled. Right, it's got nice custom cabinets, nice, granite countertops, white bright. They put can lighting in. Like, they spent a lot of money on this. Right, this house right here, you guys, is a deal. Investor, developers welcome. Like, look at this thing. You can tell it needs work. They didn't put good interior pictures on this because they know it's just gonna go. But because the Privy system found this for you automatically, you don't have to sit there and wait for someone to send you this. And then with the comps, and you wonder whether or not it's a deal. This is a deal. If you're out in California right now, go set up a showing on this tomorrow. And you're probably going to want to write an offer on it because it doesn't get any easier than this. So I'm going to save this property. We can track it in real time. I can share this with my contractors, my hard money lender, my real estate agent, my business partner. If I wanted to modify this and say, okay, well, these comps over here are a little too far away. They're on the north side of Pico. Let's get rid of those. You can hide them. And basically what we're doing is we're building a live CMA that we can share with our team and keep everybody on the same page. All I do is I click email. Our system creates a unique link that you can share with all those parties that I just talked about. And then all they do is click that link and they go right back to this report just the way you left it, right? They don't have to be Privy users. You can use it to share. Let's say you're a wholesaler and you lock this thing up, got it under contract. Then all you got to do now is go drop this link into a Facebook group, or you can send it out to Bigger Pockets or Connected Investors. And it's just a super simple way to market your deals. Here's another one. This is 10634 Wellworth Avenue, right? This one is for sale for 1.7 million. And there are a few properties in the area that are similar. This one right here, I probably wouldn't use, a little far away, and it's north of Wilshire. But look at these comps right here. This one is at 2.2 million. This one's at 2.4 million, right? There's a big enough spread here, and this spread is larger than what we defined on our Explore tab, right? It means that this is at 75% or better. If we chose 2.4 million, well, what does that look like? Is if we took 1.7 and we use the $2.4 million ARV, that's a 70%. That's very respectable. This is how easy it is, you guys. These things are just going to show up in your inbox, and all you have to do is spend 30 minutes in the morning going through and looking at all the properties. This one here has one comparable that says it's a deal, but look how far it is away. Well, no biggie. Let's go ahead and hide it, right? Our system is doing 90% of the work for you. It's finding the properties that are interesting, and it's getting rid of the ones that aren't interesting. This one has one comp in the area, 560,000. I'm not getting too excited about that one. Here's one that's at 975,000 that came on the market, right? The one that's closest to this house just sold for 1.3 million. Let's look at the photos on that one. Where is it? Here's 1, 2, 3 other properties in the area that were recently flipped, right? And then you can this is your roadmap, you guys. This is exactly what you need to do to your properties to get to the same after repair value. And they're all in the same area, and our system has found all these for you automatically, right? Look how simple it is. So when you implement that systematic approach and you take action on those, then you can get to that endpoint super quickly, right? You don't have to spend all day looking around and clicking around the MLS trying to find those deals. You don't have to rely on an agent to send these things to you, right? They show up in your inbox, and not everything that comes across is a deal, right? The algorithm can only go so far, but we're doing 90% of the work. It's floating the deals to the surface. You choose the ones that are awesome. You send them off to your team. You get the offers written. You go ahead and lock them up, and then you're on to the next deal, right? This is the power of technology. This is the power of using an REI hacking approach and getting deals done. It is totally going to release you from having to rely on anybody and any other data source, by the way. Now, you can analyze any property that you find, whether it's on or off market, using our MLS data by being able to pull comps, right? So you can enter an address here and pull comps on a property that you found through your off-market activities. Our system will go out and pull comps on it for you using the algorithm automatically. You can pull comps using our manual search by just choosing the MLS search, choosing MLS, choosing sold, and looking at all the properties that sold in a specific area that match your criteria and finding them that way. So that's what's powerful here, and that's what you're able to do when you use this REI hacking approach. So let's get back in here. And we built a foundation, right? We've got the local market knowledge. We've filled the gap between all the books and podcasts and gurus we've been paying attention to. And we now have local market knowledge. We know what other investors are doing to have success. We can see the before and after pictures. We got all of this coming to us automatically using systems. And then we take that knowledge and we turn it around on its head, and we flip the switch and have it deliver deals to us, right? Actual deals that we can write offers on. You know, if you're doing and you're focusing on the off-market stuff, that's great. But how hard are those things to find, right? How much money are you spending on mailers and door hangers and Facebook ads and whatever else you're doing? And you're getting, you know, a few leads here and there. It's not going to be enough deal flow for you to be able to get the kind of offers out that you need to get those offers accepted. So that's why people get burnt out so quickly, is because I had a guy I was talking to yesterday. He wrote 80 offers before he switched gears and decided he wanted to try one of our other markets. And now he had an offer accepted within 2 days, right? So there's different things you can do within the Privy system that will allow you to take advantage of our REI hacks in our systems. And the last thing is the action, right? I showed you how you can go ahead and share the properties with your team, right? You just spend 30 minutes in the morning reviewing the properties that show up in your inbox, and then you choose the ones you want, you get rid of the ones you don't, and you're off and running. You're setting up showings. Next thing you know, you've got some properties, you put together your offer, send it out, and you are getting deals, right? You're getting deals under contract, and you're making things happen. So when you have all that stuff in place and you start taking action, well, what happens? Well, things become a lot more fun, right? This is a stressful business, and we pour a lot of our heart and souls and money into it. And oftentimes it doesn't work out, right? And it's because so many of the things that are out there is extremely expensive, and they're not practical tools that you can implement on a daily basis, right? Using technology and systems and then using that to take action I have to apologize, is you're going to have a lot less excuses. So that the guy I was talking to yesterday, he told me that he was using his realtor as a crutch. And he said, I was relying on that person to send me deals, and I could use the excuse that I didn't have enough information to write an offer, right? Or I didn't have enough time to get an offer in, quickly enough so that I can, actually get something under the contract. And so he said, once I switched gears and I started implementing your systems and your systematic approach, he said it changed things. And in 2 days, he had a deal under contract. That's what's possible. You get moving, you get up your butt, and you start having the confidence that you need to be able to pull the trigger when it makes sense, right? Not everything you come across is going to be a deal, but we're going to show you and make you way more confident, and you're going to have a lot more success and enjoy the business because you're going to feel better about it. You've got all the information. You're not going to have to rely on anybody. And, we like to say a half hour a day goes a long way. And it's true. You spend that time in the morning before you go to your day job, and you find the deals and you make things happen. Now, just going to recap. You build your knowledge base. you look at what other investors are doing. You've got all of that education now. You've really kind of shortcut and give yourself the next level kind of pro experience in education without having to go out there and do it and make mistakes, right? You can get there without having to go out and make mistakes. And this is a great educational tool, right? If you're just getting started and you want to practice, well, that's great. If you want to use the tool to find deals that you can write an offer on tomorrow, that's great too. We can help you on all levels. And it doesn't matter whether you're a wholesaler or if you're a fix and flipper or you're a buy and hold person who's doing like that BRRRR approach, or if you are an agent, right? There's something here for everyone. And I'll be able to show you that more specifically if you wanted to get into like a demo or something like that. So this is Chris Sanders. He's one of our longtime users here in Colorado, and he was already a successful investor. He was doing, half a dozen deals a year, just using his own system. But he hit a ceiling. He couldn't do anymore. He just didn't have the bandwidth to get any more done. And so when he implemented a systematic approach, REI hacks, and using the data to kind of get things going behind the scenes, it's almost like having a virtual assistant doing a lot of the work for you. He was able to double the amount of deals he was doing per year, double it. So what does this look like? So being an amazing real estate investor, it's a lot more than just a few REI hacks and data and technology, right? It really is, it comes down to, do you have what it takes to get this done, right? Do you have the dedication? Do you have the desire? Do you have the wherewithal to power through those times when you write 20 offers in a week and you don't even get a counter or a callback, right? That's going to happen. Now, when you have a program like this and you have REI hacks and a systematic approach, it's a lot easier to get through that because you're not going to have to do it all on your own. So how do we make this happen for you, right? So the fastest and easiest way to get this done for you is by getting involved and trying out the Privy software, right? The system is built in a really amazing way with real-time MLS data. It gets you all the tools and the data you need to make quick decisions. And then use our REI hacks, use the mentorship and the classes and the one-on-one training that we've built all into the system. Because we're way more than just a software company, right? We, like how I started this off with, is we want to be your partner. We want to help you get to the next level. And I'm going to show you some things here in a moment that are really going to blow your mind, because we've actually put the bonuses in place to help you get there, right? This isn't just a software platform, right? We have access to the system for a year, right? If you wanted to get it on a month-to-month basis, that would be $97 a month, right? That's $164 value if you used it for a full year. Well, I'm going to add in 5 big bonuses here that will even, just kind of blow you away and help you take the software and really implement it in a strategic way, using all of the education and support we've built around it, so that if you implement that and you use our systematic approach, you can't fail. All right, so here's what you're going to get. So the first big bonus is our Privy Concierge program. So we're going to give this to you for 1 year. Right now, we have this on an a la carte basis, and we charge $450 for the entire year. You can call in, you can speak with me, or you can speak with somebody else on the team, and you can ask us anything you want, right? If you've got a question about the software and you can't quite remember how to use the off-market live comparative market analysis tool, or if you have a question on what the icons mean, or if you need a second set of eyes on a deal you found, well, leverage us. We're part of your team. We want to be here to support you no matter what it is. Well, we're going to give you that for free. The next thing is our system setup and training session, right? This is a consultation session where we spend with you one-on-one. We do a screen share. I'm not going to show up at your house and do this for you, but I'm going to help you get your system set up. I'm going to help you do an analysis of your market, right? When we first started this, we were looking at the sold properties, right? And there's a strategy behind using that data and helping you put together ways to find properties in those markets, how to set the system up to deliver you updates on what other investors are doing to have success. And I'm going to help you do all of it, right? By the time you leave that session, you're going to have a fully functional operational system that's going to be delivering you deals automatically, and you're going to be the most informed person in your sphere, because you're going to have the systems doing all that work for you. Now, we charge $200 for that. If you want that a la carte, I'm happy to do it. But if you want this as part of tonight's bonuses and special promotion, I'm going to throw that in there for free. All right, the next thing is access to Privy University. You are going to get access to our learning center, right? This is really cool, you guys. So I told you earlier, like the education that's out there is valuable, but unless you implement it in a way that is going to help you connect all the dots, it's really just more and more education, right? It's that analysis paralysis. So our Privy University is built in a way to give you that foundational knowledge and give you access to interviews with successful real estate investors. We give you classes on specific kind of elements of real estate investing. One of the most recent additions to this was a 6-week training course that we did. And we did that over 6 weeks, and we handed out homework, and we had a workbook, and we handed all that out, and it was wildly successful. We recorded it, and we charged $900 for that. We're going to give that to you for free. The next thing is you got to figure out your numbers, right? So we have a deal analysis calculator that we put together in partnership with one of our most successful users, right? This is something that he built over years. And so in this deal analysis calculators, we have ARV determiners, we've got fix and flip analysis. You can use the construction estimator. This thing there's been a lot of time and money poured in this thing, and that's a $200 value. We're giving that to you for free. Lastly, and most importantly, and it depends on your business model, is we're going to give you access to our master membership, right? This is a membership that gives you access to all of our current and future markets, right? As you can see on the map here, we're in 12 different states. All the little blue dots here are where we're located, right? So Dallas, Fort Worth, we're in Colorado in both the Springs and Denver, the greater Los Angeles area, Central Tennessee. We're in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and we've got a really big presence up in the Mid-Atlantic region. So this is DC, Maryland, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, parts of Delaware. Now, we're just scratching the surface with that. We've got a bunch of markets that are already in the workings, and these are going to be launched in conjunction with the new app that we're releasing in May. So we're going to be releasing the new app with a bunch of new markets, and we want you to take that journey with us, you guys. Like, you can do real estate investing in your backyard if you want to, but you can also do it in other markets. Now, when you have this kind of data at your fingertips, does it really matter if it's in the city next over, or it's in your backyard, or it's in the next state over? Well, there are a lot of investors now that are getting comfortable with being able to invest in other markets, and especially in a market like yours that is so competitive and so tight. You better start looking at some other ways to make money, and it could be investing in other markets. So we're going to give this to you for free. So we're launching 30 new markets this year, on top of what you already see here, and we're going to give you access to all of those as we grow. Right? That's a huge amount of value. Right now, we're charging for each market separately, $97 a month. And so obviously, if you wanted all those markets, you'd have to pay a ridiculous amount to do that, but we're going to give you those all for free. So I'm going to give you 1 full year Privy access, $1,164 value. I'm going to give you the Privy concierge program, $450 value. The consultation session, which is going to be a game changer, right? Having me actually hands-on set your system up for you is going to take out all the guesswork, and you're going to be able to start finding deals, tracking your market immediately, right? There's not going to be a huge learning curve there. I'm going to give you access to the Privy University in our new 6-week training course. I'm going to give you access to our deal analysis calculators. That's a $200 value. All of this comes to this huge amount right here, which I believe you can easily make back by just doing a couple deals, right? If you follow our systems and you do what the system is showing you what to do, it won't be hard for you to get to this point. So we're going to give this all to you for just $870. That's for access for the entire year, right? That breaks down to only $72 a month. Now, I'm a real estate agent here in Colorado, and I've been doing it for a long time. with the access that I have to the MLS, it is just slightly less than $72 a month, right? So you're already getting access to the MLS. And I told you earlier that real estate agents use our system, right? So you're going to be getting the value, the monthly value, really easily, right? We're going to be saving you many hours a month, and we're going to help you find deals, right? And you do one deal in a year, it's going to pay for this thing for years on end. And I know that if you follow through with, we talked about the dedication and the follow through and the accountability, you are going to do that. And with our help, I believe you're going to easily get these deals done and pay for this system. And it's going to be well worth your time. So $870 per year, we're going to give you a 30-day money back guarantee, right? So if you try it out and it doesn't end up working for you, and that's rare that ever happens, we will return your money back, 100% of it. And I talked about, the pricing earlier and us growing. I want you to grow with us. And so I want to give you lifetime pricing. So as we grow across the country and as we implement more and more features into our program, and our pricing is going to go up. It just is. And I don't know when that's going to happen or how it's going to happen, but just count on it. The pricing is going to change, and I want you to get that locked in so that you have a lifetime guarantee. And no matter what we do with the system over the next years, then you're always going to be locked in as long as you are a Privy user, and you're going to get the free feature upgrades that come along with that. So cool. That is what's available. And that's what I would suggest that you do, right? I talked about turning this into a business and stop treating it like a hobby, right? You want to invest in your company so that you can really take things to the next level. So we do have a less expensive situation. It's our monthly plan where you can get in, you can get involved with us. And if it's just outside of your budget to do the 870, well, this is a great way to get involved. But if you can make it happen at the 870, you certainly should do it, because it is going to help you kind of hold yourself accountable and commit to doing real estate investing as a real business, right? Let's get out of that hobby mindset. Let's get out of that mentality that this is just something you do on evenings and weekends, right? How do you turn this into a business? How do you leave your 9 to 5 and start doing this full time, right? It's by investing in your company, implementing the systems, and doing the follow through. And we want to be here to help you with that. So with this plan on $97 a month, you can get involved right away. I'm still going to give you a few of the bonuses. You're still going to get the concierge program. I'm still going to spend some time with you in the consulting session, and going to give you access to Privy University, right? Still give you that 30-day money back guarantee, and you're going to have the lifetime pricing and feature upgrades. So what I just said was a mouthful. I was going really fast, and I want you to take advantage of this, right? This is available for you for 48 hours. So I'm going to have this available for you through Saturday, okay? Saturday at midnight, right? And I'm going to drop in here into the chat how you can get access to this. So let me just exit out real quick. And I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the chat so you can get the information you need. Now, Lisa is also going to send this information out to you so that you can go ahead and sign up. But I'm going to put the links here for you. Now, all you got to do is use promo code REI Hacker 12, right? That's going to give you all the bonuses, and it's going to lock your price in for life. And you're going to be able to get started. Now, the next step after that will be for us just to get our training scheduled, right? We want to be able to make sure that as soon as you sign up, you're able to get started right away. And when those bonuses come over to you, all you got to do is just pick a time that works for you, and then I'll block out my calendar for you and make sure you have everything you need to get started. And I'm also going to drop in my information so you can contact me in case you want to do a personal demo, right? So we moved through it fairly quickly, but you probably saw the value right out of the gates. And if you just want to spend that time with me during your one-on-one training, that's okay with me. But if you also want to do a demo so I can show you how it fits in with your specific business model, whether it be fix and flip, wholesaler, if you're an agent, we've got some additional tools for you. I just dropped that in for you. Cool. So my phone number here is, if you're taking notes, it's 844-438-7748. Also dropped in my link so you can schedule a personalized one-on-one demo. And I guess I can open up to some questions now. Again, this is only good through Saturday. We've already got a few questions here. Frank's asking, my partner was not able to attend this webinar. Was it recorded so that he can view it tomorrow? Yes, I believe that that this was being recorded by Lisa. And
Yeah, this is being recorded, and we are going to send out a replay of it as well.
Awesome. Great. Good question, Frank. Thank you. All right, there's Lisa. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? Well, we still have some time together.
We've got a question. Are the promo codes the same for both deals?
They are. They are. So the system will know whether or not you're doing the annual plan or whether you're doing the monthly plan. So the promo code is the same. Now, just a little bit of advice on the promo code. When you click that link to go sign up, it's going to ask you first for like your general kind of registration information. Pick the registration information. And one of the steps that's there is selecting a real estate agent. And sometimes people have questions about that. Now, it's our agreement with the MLS out there that so that we can give you this real-time MLS access, that we try to keep a real estate agent in the loop in some way. And so what we did is we said, okay, we'll introduce people to an agent if they don't already have one. And so if you've got an agent, all you do is you just put their information in there and we'll send them an invitation to check out the Privy system. If you don't have one yet and you want access to an agent who is investor friendly and is also familiar with how the Privy system works, then you can choose that option as well. So you got those two options there, and you just choose whichever one makes the most sense for you.
Hey,
Now,
Benson, we have another question, which is, if you can't pay the $870 in one lump sum right now, can payment arrangements be made?
You know, Claudette, thank you for asking that question. Not typically. That's kind of why we have the monthly option too, is so that you've got two really good options to get involved with us. But if you've got some special circumstances that, maybe it's just about timing, like, you get paid next week and you want to do half now and half next week, maybe we can talk about that. It's not something I typically do, but it would certainly be something we could talk about. Now, Claudette, I would just ask if you can, grab my email address from when I dropped it in and send me a message, and we can talk about that more. All
I
right,
hope you guys see why I'm so excited about this software. It's fantastic for our wholesalers, our flippers, and especially note buyers that are on here as well, because the access it gives us to other markets is just truly phenomenal. So that's why it's become kind of one of my go-to tools in my own investing business.
Yeah, you make a good point, Lisa. Whenever I talk about investors, I get focused in on kind of that core group, and oftentimes I leave those note investors out. And I know the note investing thing is a big kind of I don't know if it's a campaign in your Rehab, but you spend a lot of time talking about that and coaching on note investing, and it's really difficult to get access to that data that you need in multiple markets all at once, without actually then leveraging an agent and creating that relationship in every market you're investing in, and it's just not practical. So what you can do with us is as we grow, if you lock your membership in on the master membership and you have access to our multiple markets, then you can start to look for notes that are available in where we're at and where we're going to. So you'll have that data available so that you can run your comps and get to that the value very quickly, without having to rely on others and unreliable data sources.
Yeah, there's no other program that's even comparable in any way, shape, or form to that, especially if you're working out of state. So that's why it's so exciting. Like I said, especially for the note investors.
Right. Very cool. What other questions do we have? So Kelly's asking, how long does it take to get the system up and running? It doesn't take a long time, and that's why we call the consultation session a system setup and training session. So a big portion of that that time together with me, that consultation session is question and answer. So when we set you up in the system, as far as signing you up, we send you some video tutorials. And so I always recommend you watch those video tutorials so you can get up to speed pretty quickly. And then as soon as you watch those video tutorials and then you play with the system a little bit, you're going to start to generate some questions. And then that's when I recommend you schedule your consultation session with me, because then we can spend that time to help you get your system set up and put a strategy around your specific business model, and then how to best leverage the system to get you up and going. And then making sure that you got all your questions answered so that when you leave that session, you shouldn't have any other like lingering questions, right? It's kind of a dual purpose. So, and then of course, with the concierge program, I'm always available. So if we miss something and you think of it the next day, or, you're running comps on a deal and you got some questions, you need some help, you can always give us a call here. And Mark's asking about the Inland Empire. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Inland Empire is a big portion of it. We cover, Riverside and all the way up to Pasadena and down through, all the way through to Palm Springs, right? I was looking at a bunch of deals last week on our Deal Finding Friday session. And that's one of the things that we'll invite you guys to is you can actually come to our live deal finding sessions. And I spend the time to go into the market and find deals, and we just give them out, right? So it's a really fun, interactive thing that we like to do with our community. And I was finding a bunch of deals in Palm Springs, right? So they're out there. They're all over the place. What's that town? Hemet or Helmets. I was finding a bunch there. I was finding some down in Orange County. So they're definitely all across that whole greater Los Angeles area. All right, Frank's asking, can this be used to find no money down deals? Are there search parameters that can be set, such as number of days on market? Yes. Age of owner, clear properties, or age of mortgage. So days on market, yes. And you were asking for no money down deals. Now that really just goes on you, right? No money down is just a creative financing technique. So if you can find a deal and then get to a seller and make an offer where it's contingent on the financing and maybe them, holding a note, or doing some other kind of creative financing, and certainly. But these are properties that are listed on the MLS, right? So you have to take that into account when you're considering those approaches. Now, as far as the owner, knowing information about the mortgage, like that's more public record data, and that isn't something we currently have in the system, but it is something we're exploring, and we really are motivated to layer in that data at some point down the road. I'm just not sure when that's going to happen. But if you lock your membership in with us, when we do that, and if we charge more, or we have like a gold plan, like you're going to be locked in and you're going to get access to that as soon as it's available. All right, what other questions do we have here? Okay, so feel free to put in your questions. Is anybody having any questions about the registration that I can help with? It seems like the offer was fairly straightforward. We didn't have a lot of questions about that. Frank is asking about multifamily properties. The way you see it right now, the multifamily option is not in there, but it is something that we're going to add at some point to be able to show how you can basically search MLS listings for multifamily. Not sure when that's going to happen, but we're in a big development spirit right now, and we've got some people that have been asking for that, and it's something that we are motivated to do. So yes, it will be there at some point. Okay. Well, I'm going to start to wrap up now. So I did drop in the information on how to get signed up. I'm again going to put in my info here so you can contact me, call me with any questions tomorrow. I'm going to be available Saturday morning as well. So if you want to call me then, because we are extending this through Saturday at midnight, you can call me with any questions. If you wanted to, send me an email about getting a demo set up, that's something we can certainly do. And then here again is the information to sign up. Just click that link right there, and then you enter promo code REIHacker12 at checkout. All right. Well, I just want to thank Lisa again for having me here tonight. I had a lot of fun talking to you about Privy and showing you, faster, more efficient ways of doing real estate investing. That's the REI hacking, right? It is kind of setting yourself apart from the pack, right? There's a big group of people out there that are just doing things the old way. They're out there grinding, they're learning by doing, they're not learning and based off of the data, right? And so we set the system up in a way that curates that data in a way that gives you insight into kind of a world that you never knew was there before, right? Before you really had to learn by going to these real estate investment clubs and educating yourself through, podcasts and books. And again, all of that stuff is very important. Do it. But again, fill that gap, get the confidence you need to be able to pull the trigger when these deals present themselves, and just take your business to the next level, right? We want to be your partners in this thing. We want to help you get there. I'm going to be personally available. I'm going to be personally accountable, right? That's that 30-day money back guarantee. If this doesn't work for you within 30 days, I will get on the phone with you and I will personally refund your money. That's how committed I am to making this thing work for you. So if you got questions, please call me tomorrow. Call me Saturday morning. I'm happy to help. And, just let me know, right? I'm sure you got 1,000 questions right now, but this is definitely something that you can do without any risk, right? The 30-day money back guarantee is there, and I want to be there to help you. So thanks again, Lisa, for having me here. I'm not sure if you have a send out set up.
We'll be sending it out pretty quickly as soon as the video has to render and such. But very happy that you were able to join us again, Benson.
Yeah.
And I know we had some great participation on tonight, so I'm hope you guys saw the value in this like I do. Like I told you guys, there's very few products that I actually endorse, but this is one that I really, really love because the value in this piece of software is just terrific. I mean, if I had designed it myself, I don't think I could have done as nice of a job. So hats off to you guys. Great product.
Appreciate it, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. We will see you guys, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Thank you.